ensonga zino nga bwe muzimanyi gye zaatandikira. John Mary Ssebuufu yawambibwa ng'ennaku z'omwezi 14 January ne bamuteeka eyo gye tutumanyi gye baamuteeka eyo mu zibesimenti okumala omwezi mulamba paka eventually bwe yayirisibwa mu kooti. Mu kooti baamuteekako omusango nti gwakukuma muliro mu bantu. Of course byabufuzi, buli omu akimanyi nti bino byabufuzi. Tuzze tugezaako kumusabira akalu ka kooti nga kooti bwe batubuuzaabuuza bwe bakola ki kati muddeeyo ne biwanvuwa ekiteetaagisa. Naye tobaza Katonda nti olunaku olwaleero aweereddwa akakalu ka kooti, ateereddwa akakalu ka kooti kituyita bail. Ssebuufu teyalibadde na mu kooti eno ku nsonga zino ez'ebyobufuzi, kubanga okuwakanya gavumenti bannansi si musango, tegulina kubeera musango. Ate nga naye bwazza akyogera Ssebuufu agamba nti era bwe bamuta ajja kuddamu ebyobufuzi bye okulwanirira eddembe ly'obuntu ne Uganda empya. Ekyo tekimenya mateeka. Okuvuganya gavumenti tekirina tteeka lyekimenya. Era katusubire nti ne bannaffe abalala abaasibibwa bonna bajja kuteebwa, era tukyakiremeddeko abantu abo bonna bateebwe. Tuvudde mu kalulu mwewa ebitundu 7 ku buli 71%. Lwaki temuli basanyufu nti mwawangula? Kubanga mukimanyi nti temwawangula mu butuufu. Kyodula abasigala bakwata abandi, bakwata ba agent nakyo. Omuntu awangudde mu mazima mwalaali abatakola bintu bino. So tukyabanja abantu baffe bonna bateebwe. Tulina kwetoloola mu makooti naki. Yes, of course ekitujja kikola tujje nga bannamateeka twogere oluzungu, twogere amateeka, naye zino ensonga si za mateeka, za byabufuzi. N'ekirungi nti ateereddwa obukwakulizo bwe batuwadde n'obuteetaagisa paasipooti n'ebirala byonna ne ssente byonna tuli mu bikolako kulaba nti munnaffe tuvaawo naye.
Kooti eragidde omwabi wa gavumenti ayanguyirize okulaba nti amaliriza ensonga z'okunoonyereza. Nga bulijjo omwabi wa gavumenti atugambye nti akyanoonyereza ku musango okukuma mu bantu omuliro. Tuli mu myezi 2 okuba bwe bajja mu kooti eno. Ekyobuvunaanyizibwa era eky'amateeka ogenda okuleeta omusango mu kooti ng'omaze kunoonyereza. Bw'wabaawo ebibuzeemu essuubira nti kitwala myezi 2 abantu gye bali bwe baba nga ddala baaliyo abakumwamu omuliro. Kunoonyereza kyokwo nga bwe tubagamba bulijjo emisango gy'ebyobufuzi bwe gityo bwe gibeera. Kyekyo lwaki gavumenti emisango gyonna gye tubaddemu twateekinga stock emisango ekisukka ne mu 3,000 tugibuuza nti omusango waleeta ogw'okukumamu abantu omuliro wakawangulayo emeka? Emisango ekisukka mu 3,000 ze tulina tebawangulangayo musango na gumu, kubanga tebaba na bujulizi. Kuba tegiba misango gya bujulizi, giba misango gya byabufuzi. Kwekubiriza gavumenti ne DPP aliko nti ekyokuba nti mweyambisa kooti okuzanya ebyobufuzi kikyamu. Weyambisa kooti okusibya abakulembeze b'ekibiina bonna. Tufunye omukisa obwalo ne bannaddiini batuyambyeko. Bulijjo tulwana ffekka. Twebaza omulanga gw'abakulembeze betuwulidde nabo nga bagamba nti abantu bano mwandikoze eki, mwandibatadde. Oba oliawo ogwo omulanga gukoze eki, ffe bannamateeka mukkirize tukole ogwaffe n'abakulembeze nga bannaddiini mwongere okunga okulaba nti nno eggwanga liddayo ku mulamwa. Katusibira bantu isango-sango. Of course nga the Honorable Ssenyonyi bw'abagambye nti obukwakkulizo bwe bataddeko ene kooti ekkirizibwa okuta omuntu ng'ono ku gye bayita personal recognition, nti omuntu agambye nti nno mukulembeze minisita mu kibuga Kampala okkiriziganyiza naffe nti nno adresi ye emanyikiddwa w'osobola omusanga. Okkiriziganyiza naffe nti omulimu gwe gwa buvunaanyizibwa n'obuvunaanyizibwa obulala bw'alina nga mu ekereziya. kati ate okugamba nti nno aleete passport, aleete ID n'ebirala ebiringa ebyo, tulowooza olumu abantu baffe bajja kusabanga okweyimirira naye ate obukwakulizo obukole ki alemeza okuva mu ki makomera. Tusaba ekitongole ekiramuzi ne ku nsonga eyo kiddirizeemu ekigendera ky'okuta omuntu eyimiriddwa kwe kulaba nti bw'omwetaaze lonna asobola okulabikako mu kooti. So ekyo kyokka kye tufunyeemu obuzibu n'ekisinga byonna engeri wali nti wali musango gwasobola kusinga bajja kutawaanya John Mary Ssebuufu n'abalala nga baleeta mu kooti naye nga tebalina bujulizi ng'emisango egisinga bwe gibadde. Njagala omuntu atuweeyo likodi eraga nti nno gavumenti yali ewanguddeko omusango ogw'okukuma mu bantu omuliro. Tujja kutegeera nti kyekyo lwaki bakyaguleeta mu kooti.
We have had a legal back and forth over the John Mary Ssebuufu matter. As you remember, he was abducted on 14th of January and held in incommunicado detention for about a month. And then eventually he was produced in court and remanded. As you have been seeing, we have been pursuing bail every so often, but at every turn there was some kind of excuse. Now you've not done this, now you've not done the other. And literally to drag the matter. And then they adjourned the ruling for bail over a matter of inciting violence in the magistrate's court. We thought that was unwarranted. Anyhow, we are glad that today, finally, after that legal back and forth, he has been granted bail. He never really should have never found himself before this court of law over these political issues, as we have been saying severally. But we are glad that he's been granted bail. Our hope and prayer is that all the other political prisoners get to be freed. Look, the election ended. You gave yourselves 71% of the election results. You should be happy with that. Why are you running after people, agents and leaders and so on? Why aren't you confident of your quote-unquote win? Perhaps because you know that your win was not legitimate. That's why they keep doing all these different things that are uncalled for. So our hope is that all these political prisoners will be freed. As he has told us severally, as you have seen him, John Mary Ssebuufu, he knows that he's innocent in this matter, and he's not going to stop demanding and pursuing for a better country. Sometimes they think that when they jail us, they'll break us down. But as he has said himself, that struggle will not stop because it's a legitimate struggle. It is a legal struggle. We don't break the law when we oppose this regime. The conditions for bail, as you have seen, are a couple of them, a little stringent, bring passport and so on. But we said it's okay. We'll fulfill all of those to bring whatever they require. Passport, ID, the bail fees and so on and so forth, so that he gets his temporary freedom. Our hope is that eventually this matter will be dismissed because it does not merit in the first place being before this honorable court.
The prosecution is directed to expedite the investigations in liaison with it. Please expedite the investigations.
Much obliged, Your Honor.
We have 7 and 14th April. 14th April.
14th. How is your day? 14th.
have 7, 14, let's take 14. Next month.
Next month.
Yes.
I propose to take a month.
Pardon?
Month
A month? For us, as far as we are concerned, he's still on remand until we see the cash bail has been paid. So we have to give the 2 weeks.
Wednesday.
Let's take 7th.
7.
Seven.
Okay. For mention, accused person is further remanded. What is it, Council Muyizi?
Yes, Your Honor, our understanding is we have to produce these documents and this we cannot.
Pardon?
Yes, when it's released on
Is-
bail,
yes.
it's conditional.
Yes.
As much as we satisfy the conditions, even if we can't remand.
Exactly. So as far as I am concerned, I am sending him back on remand. When you present the national ID for verification by court, which we will even give back to you, that will be one condition fulfilled. The second condition to be fulfilled is the cash pay. You have to pay the 500,000. So when you pay, what if you fail to pay, you don't have the money?
We are not going
Or what if you lied, the national ID is not even there? So present the national ID for verification and upload the cash, bail payment.
I order just for maybe for report can guide, but another reminding may cause us to have
No.
challenges with the prisons people, unless that's the practice of this court.
No.
What I'm praise indicated on the record
Yes.
is if the terms of bail are occupied with, if not just remind.
Okay, what if prison is going back in 2 hours and you're not done?
They can, for example, I have this passport.
Do you have his passport?
I have this.
And the national ID?
It's the ID I think
We're going to get it.
but the
Then
passport,
present them.
Let me give you.
Actually, if prisons gives me their documents right now, I'm going to sign his father remanded. Until you've paid the monies,
Yes. So, for example, this is the passport.
that's okay.
Yeah.
That's one.
That is one. So, we are wondering, this was my request, and that wanted to see if we can just go through it in chambers. It appears he misplaced his ID, but that's his passport. And I do not know how we are going to go through it because of this.
Don't even bring it up to you. You're going to embarrass
Yes,
yourself.
but maybe let's
Council Muyizi said
I
it's
request we
wrong.
do it in chambers.
Exactly. Don't embarrass yourselves here.
Your Honor, to put it in context, we do not want to go in details now, but we are faced with the problem of the remand. During his arrest, things were put upside down.
Okay.
But there is a remedy to that. That's happened.
Okay.
We have made an application from NIRA,
No,
and that
but
suffices.
as far as I'm concerned, I have granted bail. Whether you're going to fulfill the conditions for bail, that's up to you. Because I was even too lenient to do that without you giving me a national ID. But now if you're telling me you don't have it, what are you doing?
In the obliged, we shall produce an ID.
And maybe you should take Council Yamokaman's suggestion. You can bring that up in the chamber.
That's
Because
what
for me, I have done my part.
the obliged.
Yes. Of the area where the applicant resides. The underlining is added for emphasis by court. So even though the applicant has provided documentation in court showing his address in terms of zone, parish, division, and district, he neglected to provide any identification for the court to ascertain his identity by presenting his original national identity card to court for verification and confirmation on authenticity of the photocopy tendered. This makes it difficult for the court to identify the applicant and satisfy itself as to the correctness of the person they are dealing with. However, being that the photocopy of the applicant's national identity card was presented to court shall give the applicant a benefit of the doubt and consider him identified in the interim, premising on their submission that the same was left behind at his home on time of his arrest, and being that a national identity card is a sensitive document that is usually kept by an individual owner. On the second requirement for consideration of bail, whether the applicant has substantial sureties, the term surety is defined by paragraph 4 of the Constitution, bail guidelines for courts of judicature practice directions, legal notice number 8 of 2022 to mail, single court. A person who undertakes to ensure that the applicant will appear in court and abide by the bail conditions, and who furnishes security which may be fortified to the state if the applicant fails to appear in court. The main duty of a surety lies therein. Paragraph 13, clause 1 of the bail guidelines provides that in considering whether an accused person is likely to abscond, the court shall consider whether the accused has sound sureties within the jurisdiction to undertake that the accused shall comply with the conditions of his or her bail. Guideline 15 of the bail guidelines provides factors that court shall take into account